Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel where we are halfway through the war season. Today we've got war number 6 against SGA1. Got a bit of an interesting team today, bringing in Valkyrie to war for the very first time, flanked by Archangel and Nebula. Valkyrie actually taking half of my fights today. Very excited about that. But first up we have this RINTRAH up on path 2 in section 1. So this is a basic, a standard Archangel fight here. With drip feed, you want to wait until you get that first placebo buff on you before you attack into him, and that's going to ensure that your stuns last the full duration. Because if you just start attacking him right away, that roll with the punches node is going to start reducing your stun duration. It's going to make it much harder on you. And then Shatter, you don't have to worry about Shatter at all because there's no nullify on this. If you do get hit, he's going to neutralize, not nullify. So, other than that, just a straight, easy Archangel fight, parry heavy. We had a little bit of bad luck here to start with bleeds. 12 hits in and only 4 bleeds, no poisons. I feel like these days, whenever I fight a RINTRAH, I have to pay extra attention to those special 2s because those swords, they're so slow, they always get me. So you notice, I'm not really afraid to push him to that special 2, but when he tosses it, I'm backing up as far as I can just so I can have, plenty of time to get out of the way of those swords. Because if those swords crit, even without a bunch of ruptures on you, it can do a pretty decent amount of damage. And I already had used up, I think, 2 out of my 3 indestructible hits here. So fight now, though, only a couple seconds in here, already well under control. We've got the neuros up, the stuns up, and I think this last one takes care of him. So again, pretty straightforward fight. We're going to be using Archangel again here on this SERSI on node 14. The nodes here don't really mean anything because SERSI is a cosmic champion and has nothing to do with nullify. The concern here is that if you get the glancing buff up on her before you can get some neuros up, it's kind of a pain. So right there, got super unlucky, 2 fights in a row. I got the bleeds and a poison, but now she's glancing my heavies, and then I get absolutely walloped by the unblockable special 1 and then stunned. So right now, I'm trying not to panic. Toss my special 1 in response. The glancing buff is gone, but I didn't get any neuros, so she's still healing up here. And now I'm thinking to myself, I really got to get back, get control of this fight back. Get a good heavy there to get 3 neuros up, and now I'm feeling much better. Going to special intercept here. Get oh, I thought it was a 4th neuro here, but once you get those initial neuros up, the fight is pretty easy, especially since you don't have to worry about the nodes. So again, pretty straightforward. Alright, first Valkyrie fight of the war is this Joe FIXIT on node 20. I'm going to speed up these Valkyrie fights a bit because it's a lot of the same thing, just, hit into the block, repeat. But the end of this fight, I do want to talk briefly about something that annoys me about Valkyrie very much, and that's her special 1. So again, we're pretty much ignoring the nodes here. Spaced Armor doesn't apply, Strike Counter Fury doesn't apply because we're not actually hitting into him, and Masochism won't apply as long as we don't parry him. So, just keep hitting to his block, play Stun Immune, it's a pretty easy fight. The Unsteady buff from his special doesn't really matter. We can wait it out, or, she has a high chance to shrug it off depending on her block proficiency anyway. So coming up here in just a second, I'm going to fire my special 1 into his block because I'm assuming it's going to kill him. And, I know that I'll have the evade charge if it doesn't kill him, but what happens is he actually out-hits my evade. You only get 1 evade charge, and the AI is just capable of out-hitting that first evade. And you have no control over your character during an evade, so I literally just could not do anything but take a hit there. So, what's the point of the evade, right? Alright, up in Section 2, we are on Path 3. Again, another Valkyrie fight. Really, anybody can take this iHulk because it's a node that doesn't do anything for him. Sloped Armor, Chitinous Thorns. He has no armor up, so there's going to be no bleeds and no enhanced bleeds. So, really, anybody can take this fight. Great thing about using Valkyrie here is that we are actually going to kill him before he gets enough gamma to activate his immortality, which is always great. Anytime you can avoid having the immortality trigger is great. There's an input drop right there. It drops my light attack mid combo. That happens all the time now. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have that happen to you. I feel like once a war, I just have an input straight up drop in the middle of a combo, and it costs me a potion or 2. So. Alright, anyway, we are now on node 42. This is a similar fight to the NIMROD. that I took in War 2, I think, on the next node. This one's a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about strike counter with the block penetration one, and then you don't have to worry about outlast. And this has static defense, so really plays into Nebula. I think I had originally been assigned a Hulkling for this fight, but I wasn't going to use him anywhere else, so I asked to switch to Nebula because she was going to be much faster. With Hulkling on this node, if Nimrod has an armor up buff, he's going to glance, and when Hulkling glances, he's going to prevent the Fury buffs from triggering, and he's going to prevent your unblockable buff from triggering when you hit into his block. So Nebula, a much safer option for this fight than Hulkling, I think. So we're going to be doing the SP3 rotation here, and then my plan was to once again try and just build up to the Special 2 and do the parry SP2, which I talked about doing in that War 2 video. But, you know, this fight is going much faster, as you can tell here. So baiting out that Special 1, firing off my Special 3. So now what's actually going to happen here is he's actually going to be dead before we can even get back to the Special 2. And I think I accidentally parry at one point here, which pops the 20 shocks on him, the extra 20 shocks, and then those pretty much finish him off 0. So, you know, I could have gotten back up to the Special 2. It's likely that he would have been dead anyways. You know, pretty easy fight. The only thing here, so there's the accidental parry. So now I'm like, you know, I got to get the amp charges back up before he switches modes, and I do that with just a second or two to spare. But again, it doesn't matter. The shocks have finished him off. Alright, last fight of the war for me is an Invisible Woman up on the Hazard Shift Mini. So a couple things. Invisible Woman is a tactic defender, so you got to worry about unsteady, but more importantly, when you hit into her block while the shield is up, you're going to be placing exhaustions on yourself, which means you're going to be glancing pretty much the whole fight until her shield is down. The other danger here is that if she lets you intercept her by accident, then you have, you know, the chance to get the incinerates and poisons on you. But what really kind of messes me up early on in this fight is once her shield is down, she accidentally lets me intercept her, and then I trigger invisibility, which is a huge problem because then she plays super aggressive right here. So I expect her to block. She triggers invisibility, and now I'm like, oh crap, I can't hit into her because her invisibility is paused. I'm trying to get her to hold, you know, block so I can at least, you know, let it go. I end up, you know, hitting into the invisibility on purpose, and now I'm again kind of stuck in the corner. Toss my Special 3 just to get out of the corner. Very tough situation here, trying to get back, you know, control of this fight back again. I think really the only thing that kind of saves me in this fight, because I've got poisons, I've got the incinerates on me, is all the willpower healing that I'm getting from both the unsteady debuff and the exhaustion. So, you know, this is a 3-minute fight. It's sped up here, of course. So as long as you're really patient with it, you know, you can take an extra like half second and absolutely make sure that she's blocking. You know, a boosted rank 4 Valkyrie has, you know, plenty of time to get through this fight. And it was, you know, artificially lengthened, I think, because I made a couple mistakes there, and she went invisible, and I got punished a bunch. So we do have a couple of bulwark buffs from getting punched in the face, so that's nice. And I think we are going to invert our combo here before we fire off that Special 2, and that should give us our 6th buff, which is going to maximize our damage here. But yeah, a little bit of a tricky fight again. Every time you accidentally intercept her, very dangerous, especially if her shield is down. Alright, so there we go. Invert the combo, fire off the Special 2, it does a buttload of damage, and then one more combo with that big Fury passive up, and she goes down. Unfortunately, we did not come away with the win in this war. 6 kills, 0 deaths for me, and our record has fallen to 4-2. So hopefully we can rebound in War 7 and the latter half of the season. I think for the moment we are still in top 10 Masters, so that's good, but we can't really have many more sloppy wars like this one. I think you know, my battle group did pretty well. I think we had a 2-death clear. A couple of other battle groups I think struggled this war. So, all right, folks, that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed it, please remember to hit that like button for me and sub for more content later on. As always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.